Hey everyone, Eric Beans, HapPhi CEO. It's been a little while. I'm checking in. Building a product is time consuming. So today I'm going to talk about a couple things that that we have done here, why we've done it, and how we've done it, so that all the entrepreneurs out there can follow along and maybe take some of those ideas in your head and put them down and turn them into something great. It's not easy, but it's very, very rewarding. So today I'm going to discuss why we targeted part of the product that we're building as a rebuild of Dropbox. So Dropbox is an immensely successful, very popular service. I use it. I think pretty much everybody uses it to some degree or another. There's other services out there like Spiderbox and some other stuff that does similar stuff, maybe with more encryption. But we're not, we are using AWS, and AWS has all your SOC 2, SOC 3 compliance. And there's a lot of hashtag or, hash technology you can put over top, including, your two-factor authentication, making sure that your actual backend is highly encrypted with large keys. There's all sorts of things you can do to make things more secure on the AWS side, and it's going to be as good as it gets. It's government security. I mean, they do a lot of government contracting, so all of the data that you would expect and all the security you would expect from a government agency is through AWS. But Dropbox, the reason we actually went after Dropbox, it's not security, even though they're not known for being super high security product. There's a couple reasons. One, I find it to be really terrible on the search side. So let me give you an example. I have a file that I look for pretty often. I know the name of the file. It's an Excel file. If I go put in the exact name of that file into Dropbox, nothing shows up that matches. So their search doesn't even pick up an exact match for the name of the file. I actually have to go look by XLSX in order to find that file and scroll down for a couple minutes to be able to find the file. They built the original version, the version that's used now that's stable, that they aren't going to change. I don't see why they would. Too many users, too much risk. But they built the original version a long time ago, before Redis, and before you had all sorts of different tools to be able to work through real-time data transmission, real-time search results. How do you manage the data? How do you run it through multiple searches based on how close it is, even if you misspell something? All your different iterations that you have to think of when it comes to search. So that's just an example with exact match. You try to go in and say, hey, I'm looking for a picture. So all your photos are up there, but they're all in JPEG form. They're not auto sorted. So going through, try to find, I was looking for a picture of my father-in-law with my daughter, and it was on the water. So those three parameters: father-in-law, daughter, water. I've got thousands and thousands of pictures in there. Trying to find them even by date was impossible. There's no search filtering, no search functionality. So the real main reason, a big part of our product is predicated on making data easier to find. But the big reason that we actually created a Dropbox similar functionality is because Dropbox is awful at search. So the way HapPhi works is each channel, it's very similar to Slack in certain regards, but each channel becomes its own Dropbox. It becomes its own intranet. So each channel can be its own business. You can actually monetize each channel and charge people for subscription services for certain things. Like, let's say you're doing, some sort of medicine-based services or consulting services or self-help services, whatever you're doing. There's a million different things, fitness. There's going to be video, go live, all sorts of stuff. But some people may want premium content. It may be for people that are writing, that are professional writers and putting out content. Maybe people that put out a lot of video content, whatever it is. With HapPhi, you can move through the subscription services, and each section becomes its own intranet of files that you've shared within that section. So it auto-organizes everything for you, including pictures and videos. So in the case that I was talking about earlier, our AI will actually find my daughter with my father-in-law and a picture of the water and sort that down. Then I can say it was in 2017. Boom, it's going to give me the parameters that meet that. And it's going to be very, very easy, as opposed to spending hours, weeks, months, or possibly never, because you give up at some point, you'll be able to find that real quickly. Another issue with Dropbox, it doesn't replicate quickly. So I recently went through a pretty big legal transmission of documents to a set of lawyers, my lawyers, and other people to make sure that everybody's on the same page for an acquisition that was happening. So putting the documents in the file and having them replicate in a real-time way didn't happen. A lot of times the documents never replicated to the people on the other side. In other words, I had a shared folder, everybody had access to it, uploaded the proper documents into the shared folder, hit replicate in order to make sure, which is another weird thing you have to do. You have to say, hey, hurry up and replicate it. Still didn't replicate. So Dropbox's technology is weak. And with us, we're real time on that. So it's going to be real easy to share files and make sure people get those files quickly. Real easy to search, get that information quickly. And the other thing is Dropbox actually coordinates directly with your desktop. So for some people, that's good because it keeps you, if your computer craps out, you've got a place that's sort of auto backed up. The bad side is your Dropbox storage is commensurate with how much storage you have on your computer. In other words, they have to match. So if your computer has, a terabyte, you have to have a terabyte on Dropbox in order to move everything up there, assuming that you have a terabyte of data. And there's no way to kind of go beyond that with us. I mean, you're just going to be able to put as many files as you want onto the cloud, but it's not going to reflect directly what you have on your computer. So technically, you could use us for storage outside of your computer and go over a terabyte. So you could have multiple terabytes of data in there and easily found, while cleaning up and keeping the stuff off of your own computer. That way, freeing up your computer to run at a better performance, because the more stuff you have on your computer, the slower it will go. You're using up your RAM and your memory and all that good stuff. So your computer will actually slow down the more stuff you have on it. So you can move your stuff off of that into the cloud, into our data management system, freeing up your computer for better performance from both our product, HapPhi, as opposed to Dropbox, way better performance, better search, and your computer is going to be cleaned up all at the same time. Plus, there's no limitations. They don't have to be the same amount. So you could have 4 terabytes on us and be using a couple, 50 megabytes on your computer. And you might have the stuff on your computer that you don't need into HapPhi. Maybe it's just stuff you're working actively on that you'll end up deleting. Of course, you can still delete stuff off HapPhi. It's your data. It's your instance. So another thing, we don't own your data. So when we upload the data, we actually set up an instance for each client, which means you have your own server. The server's yours. If you decide to cancel, because it's free to try, but at some point we charge money. If you decide to cancel, you data stays up there for, we're going to probably do 30 days. I haven't really formalized that, and send you a notice and say, hey, all this stuff's going to be deleted. Get rid of it. That way we don't have to pay for a ton of data that we're not going to ever use. It's your data. It's your stuff. We might do 60 just to give you a chance in case something happened. Maybe you got in a car crash. You don't want all your data to be deleted. Whatever it is, we'll do it fairly. But this way, we don't have to actually get involved with any of this. The data auto cleans. We don't hold a lot of old data. We're not going to use it. We don't access your data. We're not going to market with your data. Your data is your data, the way it should be. I'm a huge, huge fan of that. People that know me know that I am a privacy person. So it's going to be a company predicated on privacy, and it's going to be set up that way by design. So those are the main reasons. Now, there's a lot of other functionality with us that goes way over and above what Dropbox does. You can do all the basic stuff, the sharing, etc., emailing, forwarding, all that good stuff. But the primary thing is I just want to find my documents fast. I want to be able to share them quickly, and I don't want to have to spend a whole bunch of time to do it. So HapPhi is going to move that direction. It's coming along real nicely. I look forward to showing you guys at some point when that makes sense. Just wanted to pop on real quick, do an under 10-minute thing. Hope everybody's doing very, very well. Had a great 4th, and I look forward to doing more of these now that I'm back in the saddle. Thank you, guys.